your kind of company.
Tonight on Ctv3 News, Corosalito man sentenced to 29 years for multiple counts of unlawful sexual intercourse with minor. Belize National Coast Guard detained suspect after cocaine discovery at Turniff. And community holds hope for recovery of young men in coma following motorcycle accident in Orange Walk. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Tuesday, April 8, 2025.
Coming soon, Pro FC 16. Get ready for an electrifying night of combat sports as Pro FC takes over the Princess Vegas Hotel and Casino in Corazon on Saturday, May 17th, 2025. Witness 14 adrenaline-fueled fights featuring the fiercest competitors from Belize, Mexico, Canada, and Guatemala, all battling for glory and supremacy in the ring. Pro FC 16. Don't just watch the action, be part of it. Pro FC 16, exclusive on the Express Plus app.
Get the most out of your internet with Centaur's ExpressNet. Are you ready to supercharge your online experience? When connecting to your Velo Mesh device, make sure you're linked to our blazing fast 5 GHz frequency. Why 5 GHz? Faster speeds at a shorter range. 5 GHz is perfect for use in smaller spaces where speed is your top priority. As for the 2.4 GHz, while connection may travel farther, it can lead to slower performance. Remember, choose 5 GHz for your devices and experience the difference instantly. ExpressNet, bringing you the best speeds for the ultimate online experience. For more information, contact us at 380-0101.
The New World screwworm poses a significant threat to livestock, pets, and humans. It can cause severe losses if not controlled quickly. Currently, it is not present in Belize. That is why early detection is crucial to prevent its spread. Let us help to keep it out. Don't bring animals from other countries illegally. If you notice maggots, larvae, or worms in unusual wounds, report them immediately. Call Baja at 824-4872 or text 670-7003. Together we can work to keep our country safe from the New World screwworm and save animals. This message was brought to you by Baja, OIRSA, AICA, USDA, and the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security, and Enterprise.
Good evening with your news. Also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. 35-year-old Jeffrey Pott, a resident of Corosalito, was today sentenced to 29 years in prison after he was found guilty of 3 counts of unlawful sexual intercourse with a minor. The conviction resulted from reports that Pott had sexually intercourse with a 13-year-old minor on 3 separate occasions between August 2021 and February 2022. In his sentencing today in Belize City, Justice Pilgrim noted that in law, Section 47129 of the Criminal Code outlined that anyone who with or without consent has sex with someone under the age of 16 years commits an offense, and the punishment is a term not less than 12 years but can extend to life imprisonment. In what was deemed to be a message to other sexual predators, Judge Pilgrim handed down the stiff sentence, which included separate jail time for each of the 3 counts. The aggravated factors to the offense, he noted, is that the court must send a message to men that touching children will lead to grave consequences, that children are vulnerable and they need to be protected. It is noted that in court, the accused denied ever having sexual intercourse with the minor and called 2 witnesses on behalf. The first was his estranged common-law wife as well as a female relative. The testimonies offered by the two witnesses, however, contradicted each other, with his common-law wife claiming that he was in Corozalito, while the female relative said the accused was with her at her home in Belize City on the dates in question. After being handed down his sentence of almost 30 years, the accused sexual predator also went a step further to try and further victimize his victim as he shouted at her, "Tell your ma the truth and not hide nothing from your ma," as he was being escorted out of the courtroom. The Belize National Coast Guard, BNCG, has detained a suspect following a seizure of 1 kilogram of cocaine during a patrol operation at Turnif Atoll. The incident occurred amid speculation regarding a possible capsizing or beaching of a Colombian narco vessel in the area, although no evidence has yet been found to support those claims. Rear Admiral Elton Bennett, commandant of the Coast Guard, confirmed the details of the apprehension and ongoing investigations in a statement released earlier today. "We are currently patrolling the area to determine if there are any other drugs floating or if there is a vessel out there," he said, emphasizing the Coast Guard's commitment to maintaining maritime security and combating drug trafficking. The discovery of the cocaine comes at a time when authorities are on heightened alert for drug-related activities in Belize's waters. The Coast Guard has intensified its surveillance and patrol measures, particularly around the Turnif Atoll, due to its strategic location along drug trafficking routes. Tonight, the family of two young men from the community of San Antonio here in Orange Walk District are hoping for a miracle recovery as their loved ones remain in a coma following a motorcycle accident over the weekend. The tragic incident happened on Saturday shortly before 4 p.m. as Ian Reyes and Marlon Canto were on board a motorcycle and heading home following a day at the river. The motorcycle was being driven at the time by Canto, who reportedly lost control of the cycle and crashed into a tree. The two young men were thrown from the motorcycle and sustained severe head and body injuries. Both Reyes and Canto have since been in a coma at the Carl Houston Memorial Hospital. Today we spoke to Ian's father, Jorge Reyes, who told us they're hoping for the best. However, doctors have indicated that their son suffered severe injuries.
Ay, creo que tiene sangre en su cerebro, un poco de sangre, y está inflamado, se le quebró el hombro, el pecho está inflamado, también está mayor, no sé qué, interno, no sé qué. Los pulmones y tiene un riñón dañado. Pues en eso están ellos. Ellos cada día me dan unos updates. El de hoy fue que van a empezar a tratar de que despierten. Y me dijeron los problemas que tiene, como quebrar el hombro. Y tiene una quebrada en la cabeza, tiene una reventada en la cabeza muy grande. Y no, las cosas que tiene él internas, el blues, tiene dentro un riñón fregado, el pecho fregado, y así. Eso fue lo que nos dijeron por el día de hoy. Ya mañana es otro update.
The young men, according to Reyes, were returning home from socializing by the riverside when the incident occurred. While the exact cause of the incident is not known, speeding may have played a role, according to family members.
Accidente de moto, con motocicleta. Iban dos de ellos y él iba de pasajero. Y se salieron de control y se chocaron contra una mata.
¿Cuándo fue que pasó eso?
Pasó el sábado, como a las 4.
¿Conocido de él? ¿Estaba él con?
Sí, sí. son amigos ahí en la aldea. Son buenos amigos, son vecinos, ¿no?
Ok, ellos solo andaban ahí en la aldea.
Sí, solo andaban en la aldea, sí, estaban en la orilla del río y de ahí se quitaron.
Medical bills mounting, Reyes says any help from the public would be greatly appreciated to help their family through this particularly difficult time.
Si hay más de una persona que quiere ayudar en algo, pues está bien, ¿no? Puede ser lo que sea, no importa lo que sea.
Anyone willing to assist the Reyes family can contact them via phone number 639-6227. Coming up next, Sartaneja Village community unites to keep Sergeant William Marroquin from transfer. Stay tuned.
Coming soon, Pro FC 16. Get ready for an electrifying night of combat sports as Pro FC takes over the Princess Vegas Hotel and Casino in Corozal on Saturday, May 17th, 2025. Witness 14 adrenaline-fueled fights featuring the fiercest competitors from Belize, Mexico, Canada, and Guatemala, all battling for glory and supremacy in the ring. Pro FC 16. Don't just watch the action. Be part of it. Pro FC 16, exclusive on the Express Plus app.
Escape into a world where secrets spill and drama unfolds.
This can't be for nothing. We won't even let this be for nothing.
Prepare for the fallout, a poignant exploration of the aftermath of a tragedy that changes everything. Stream The Fallout on HBO Max, available with Centaur.
Name's Tyson, welcome to Tulsa.
Dive into an adventure like never before with Express Plus app. Experience the thrill of power and redemption with Tulsa King.
This situation is not going to be controllable for much longer.
Unlock the secrets of the supernatural with a discovery of witches. Enter the epic saga of Yellowstone.
I'm ready. Who runs this valley?
Tap into your inner warrior with Marvel's Iron Fist.
How many times a night you light that fist up?
All these incredible stories and more are ready for you with the Express Plus app, streaming entertainment.
A unique and unprecedented show of solidarity has emerged from the village of Sartaneja as residents rally together to petition for Sergeant William Marroquin to remain in his community rather than face a transfer from the Belize Police Department. This unusual community initiative highlights the deep appreciation villagers hold for the impactful work Marroquin has accomplished during his tenure. In a heartfelt demonstration of support, community members convened last night expressing their desire for Marroquin to stay in Sartaneja, marking the first known instance of an entire community advocating to keep an officer in place rather than facilitate a transfer. While he was recently transferred to Sartaneja, we understand the work Sergeant Marroquin has done is invaluable as he has laid the groundwork for several vital community policing programs that have made Sartaneja and surrounding villages a safer place for all. Marroquin, a constituent of Corozal Bay, also has the support of Minister of Human Development, Family Support, and Gender Affairs, Thea Garcia Ramirez.
To my understanding and what I've been told from the village by the villagers, is that he has initiated a series of community initiatives, if you will, programs that previously were not extended to that area of the district, being that before it felt farther away because there were only the ferries. It was somewhat difficult, but now with the bridges in place, it's much quicker, it's much faster, and it seems that Sergeant Moroccan made a special effort to ensure that things like the police cadets, for instance, that program was started there. It's been flourishing. I am told from the villagers and members of all of those villages how very happy they are. I know because I've contributed to the efforts personally to the Easter egg hunt that he has and his family have started to gather funds and Easter eggs and all of that. So these things are, I believe, part of community policing.
While Garcia Ramirez is well aware that the position Moroccan holds is transferable, he's rooting for his stay for the benefit of the people in the area.
But I think that it is extraordinary. And I'm going to be 50 this year. I've never heard of a community clamoring to keep their police officer. Usually when you hear about news, police and community, it's because it's quite the opposite. So he must be doing an extraordinary job there. He must be doing all the right things to engage his community and to earn not only the respect, but the kindness and the acceptance and that positive energy from that Sarteneja Chonosh Copperbank community. I mean, it is really amazing. I don't think that we've seen that. I've seen some videos. It's very heartwarming.
As the community raises their voices in a collective call to action, they're urging leaders within the Belize Police Department to reconsider Moroccan's possible transfer. The United Democratic Party, UDP, has vocally criticized Tracy Panton and her supporters, labeling a recent assembly held on April 5th as a phony meeting while firmly standing by its leadership position. In a press release branding the United Democratic Party's name and issued by former opposition leader Moses Shine Barrow on Monday night, stated the meeting arranged by Panton and her associates was not recognized as a valid session of the National Party Council. The announcement also dismissed what it termed misleading assertions made by the Alliance for Democracy party concerning the structure of UDP leadership and its decision-making processes. The UDP firmly rejects Panton's assertions of leadership stemming from the contentious October 28 event in which she is self-proclaimed as the queen of the UDP, the party articulated. Tensions within the UDP have intensified in recent months amid ongoing arguments over who possesses legitimate authority. The statement stressed that until a legal decision is rendered by the High Court, the leadership will remain with the currently elected and appointed members of the Central Executive Committee. The news release concluded with an appeal to the public and party affiliates to ignore unauthorized gatherings and maintain loyalty to the established leadership. The Ministry of Health and Wellness today celebrated World Health Day with a dance session under the theme Healthy Beginnings, Hopeful Futures, which highlights the importance of early health interventions and wellness for mothers, newborns, and future generations. The session was hosted at the Belmopan Civic Center and saw the participation of the Ministry of Health personnel, including Health Minister Honorable Kevin Bernard, as well as Taiwan ICF and the Belmopan City Council. Celebrating health and wellness, according to Minister Bernard, should be done every day across the country of Belize.
I felt it was important for me to come, even though I was a bit tired from a long travel, to come and participate in this very important event. It's something that emphasizes and stresses on the importance of people living healthy, being active at the same time, having healthy lifestyles, whether it is shoe dance, whether it is any other form of physical activity, or having a balanced diet. And so we want to, through the ministry, and I want to thank the partners, ICDF, and the various people that came out here today to show their commitment in terms of making sure that we are living in a healthy society. You could have many policies and laws that govern these things, but if we don't do it ourselves, if we're not eating healthy, if we don't have a balanced diet, if we're not taking steps to ensure that we have physical activity on a daily basis, then we're not doing our part. So this, to me, was important as we celebrate World Health Day, is to encourage others. It's part of advocation to ensure that we could encourage others to come out and do the same on a daily basis.
As part of the wellness component of the ministry, Minister Bernard says the goal is to further incorporate these kinds of activities throughout the year.
One of the things that I know that from the wellness side of the ministry, these are activities that I have asked that we do across the country, not just here. But I can say that the ministry have done several things. We have the Hearts Initiative, where we have had the yearly marathon that we encourage. I know our nutritionist, Ms. Robin, along with the health planners and the directors, and I've been always constantly looking at programs and plans that we can push this. So I have also asked that through the ministry we develop a wellness unit, one that will see regional coordinators go out working with the schools, working with sports council, working with our community, headed by our Deputy Director of Public Health and Wellness and supported by our lead nutritionist within the ministry. But these are things that we want to see. We want to see people taking the opportunity to participate in healthy activities that will see our people living and doing things that will give them longer life. And that is what is important.
A groundbreaking ceremony for the rehabilitation of the Curacao Central Park is soon to take place. The park, which has become a historical landmark that has served the community since the 1950s, is gearing up for a much-needed facelift. The project, which is being led by now Minister of Human Development, Family Support and Gender Affairs, Thea Garcia Ramirez, is being carried to put in collaboration with the St. Francis Xavier Credit Union. Today, Garcia Ramirez told us the park's rehabilitation plans have been set in motion with an allocated budget of $430,000 Belize dollars.
In the process of putting together a symbolic groundbreaking, if you will. Time is very short right now, just before Easter, so it might happen right after the Easter break, and to get work started in that area. And that will be the first of what I hope are many projects to come.
And then, quickly talking about we're in April and it's, Autism Awareness Month. And, Curacao has been in the news, with Jair and, his accomplishments and showing that, even with disabilities, we can reach our goals. What encouragement or what words of encouragement would you have for those who, know someone with autism and, to know that they also can still function as normal citizens as well?
Well, I believe Jair is also extraordinary. He lives in Shaipe. He has very supportive parents, and I think that having a good support system is always the best thing that can happen to you.
And here is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
Really? You not switch yet? What? I tell you, I don't.
You used to call me on my cell phone, late night just to stay in touch. Call me on my cell phone, cause our connection used to mean so much. And I know when that thought line bling, February's got that love to bring. Yeah, I know when that thought line bling, Smart is giving you everything. These days all I do is wonder if you're still connected with somebody else. Wonder why you're missing out on what's best for yourself. You could have had more, but you're still stuck with them. You don't need no one else, you don't need nobody else. So it's time to switch up and run, cause Smart's the best in the land. They got the top speed and the best service for your phone. You should just switch to them, it's smarter, no one else. You used to call me on my cell phone.
There's a war going on against Christianity in this country.
Meet the Righteous Gemstones, a hilarious, outrageous family of televangelists with more scandals than sermons. Stream The Righteous Gemstones on HBO Max, available with Centaur.
Name's Tyson, welcome to Tulsa.
Dive into an adventure like never before with Express Plus app. Experience the thrill of power and redemption with Tulsa King.
This situation is not going to be controllable for much longer.
Unlock the secrets of the supernatural with a discovery of witches. Enter the epic saga of Yellowstone.
I'm ready. Who runs this valley?
Tap into your inner warrior with Marvel's Iron Fist.
How many times a night you light that fist up?
All these incredible stories and more are ready for you with the Express Plus app, streaming entertainment.
The Ministry of Economic Transformation, through its Climate Finance Unit, CFU, has successfully secured a $1.9 million Belize grant from the Green Climate Fund, GCF, via its readiness modality. This milestone marks a significant step as the ministry is now accessing direct funding from the world's largest climate fund to advance Belize's climate change agenda and national priorities included in Plan Belize 2.0. The project will enable the Climate Finance Unit, CFU, to initiate the process of transitioning into a full-fledged department, as well as establishing a climate finance fund. Additionally, the initiative will provide critical support to key institutions, including the University of Belize, UB, the Belize Social Investment Fund, BSIF, National Climate Change Office, and National Disaster Risk Management efforts. This readiness initiative is designed to fortify the institutional capacities of key governmental and non-governmental entities that play a pivotal role in addressing climate change challenges. The project's primary objective include strengthening and developing legal frameworks, strategic documents, policies, and the plans that align with Belize's national climate priorities, enhancing access to climate change information through a dedicated public awareness campaign strategy for the National Climate Change Office and the Ministry of Economic Transformation, and developing an educational model at UB focused on climate change and environmental health research to foster a new generation of climate-conscious leaders. This includes a curriculum as well as a gap and needs assessment to support the creation of interdisciplinary graduate-level programs, master's and doctoral in climate change, climate-smart agriculture, renewable energy, and related fields. The Belize Association of Persons with Diverse Abilities, BAPDA, has announced the results of its recent board elections held on March 22, 2025 at the Hub. Members and supporters gathered to elect new leadership focused on advancing BPBDA's mission of empowerment, advocacy, and inclusion for those with diverse abilities and beliefs. The newly elected board consists of President Francisco Cuellar, Vice President Noel Young, Treasurer Roy Briceño, Vice Treasurer Melissa Caratella, Secretary Emil Mendez, and Assistant Secretary Kenneth Garnett. Additionally, Caitlin Skeen has been elected as Senior Advisory Member alongside advisory members Frank Garbutt III and Warren Smith. This election marks a new chapter for BABTA as it continues to uphold its founding principles while enhancing its programs. The event was particularly meaningful in light of the passing of former President K. Ray Mateos in December 2024, whose dedication to BABTA remains an inspiration. In memory of Teos, the new board pledges to maintain unity, transparency, and strong community engagement. They are committed to amplifying the voices and needs of all community members in their ongoing work. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Wednesday, April 9th, here on Ctv3 News and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/ctv3belizenews or our YouTube channel at Ctv3 News BZ. From all of us here at Ctv3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.